In this video, I'm going to show you how to add a custom client portal to your website using a tool called ClientPortal. Now, this is ideal for so many situations. And think about it. I know for me, for my cell phone, I use AT&T Wireless. And what do I do when I want to contact AT&T Wireless or have anything to do with my billing or see a bill or anything like that? What do? I log into the client portal. Same thing, I use DirecTV Now. It's a TV service. If I ever want to change my plan or see anything going on, I just log into the client portal for DirecTV Now. All of the services that we use in our daily lives, what do we do when we want to reach out to them? We log into the client portal, and this is a tool that's going to allow you to turn your WordPress website, well, actually not turn an existing website, just add it into your WordPress website. You're not going to need to add a new website to your hosting or anything like that. We're going to go over ClientPortal in this video. Hi, my name is Adam from WPCrafter.com, where I make tactics and tutorial videos on how to grow your income and influence online. If you're new here, consider clicking on the subscribe button. If you don't want to miss a thing, click on the bell. All right, let's just jump right on into this one. So here's the Client Portal's website. I encourage you, if you're interested in checking this out, definitely jump over to their website, WPCrafter.com/ClientPortal. It'll take you over here and you can first see the live demo, and that's going to give you an idea of what this does. So essentially, it's just a WordPress plugin. You install it on your website. You can create client projects. You add clients. When they log in, they see their project, and this is pretty much what it's going to look like. If I go to the demo right here, so you have the option to put in the client's logo. You can change this to their colors if you want, or just set global colors that match your brand. And then here's a little bit of information you can put in on how they can reach you. Here's some phases, so you can let them know where you currently are in the project, what's next in the project, and what the deadline is. You can have as many phases to the project that you want. You can have as many of these boxes. Now, each of these boxes can do one of three things. Number one, they could take you someplace else. So say you have a Trello board that you want to let them know that you have. Well, they can click on this. It'll take them to that Trello board. You can have one of these just for that. Or say you want one of these to link to a file. And you can also have one of these link to a content page that is unique to the client or the customer that you've created this for. It's very flexible. And these checkboxes here that you see on the top right, these just are indicators that the task of this part of the phase is done. And so you get these options to have checkboxes. You don't have to if you don't want to. So if I click on this one, and I'm just on their website right now, you're going to see it shows you one of their content pages. So you're going to have this custom looking portal available to each of your clients for content you want to give to them, and the navigation off to the side. But there's also other things you can obviously do. So if you click on this, it's going to jump open into a new tab and take them to a Google Doc. So this is how you can have everything consolidated into one location. Normally what you're doing is you're emailing them links to things, you're emailing your clients bills, you're emailing all these things, and it can be a bit much to stay organized. So kind of the intention of this tool is to have one location that your clients can log into and everything is there. Links to everything is there, links to the bills, the PDFs, the information. It's all right here in one location for each of your clients. So let me scroll down here to give you an idea of how some of the documents work with it. So you can have a section set up for your documents. So here's a real interesting one, invoice receipts. And when you click on it, this beautiful pop-up comes up and you have a link for them to each of the various bills that you might have sent them, and they're all right here. Someone can click on this and it'll just open up, well, it just downloaded the PDF. So let me go ahead and close that, and it will just download the PDF like that. And so some of these right here, you click on it and it's the same thing. You can have all of the documents organized into one place. You can have the different design assets like logos, things like that, all linked here in one spot. It's actually a really cool app. And so when you come to their homepage, one thing I like when you scroll down here, it's saying, don't think of this as a project management software. It's not a project management software. It's a client portal, the one centralized location that your client can log into and access everything. And it really solves a huge need of having that centralized location that is easy to put together, looks super professional, that you can give to your clients. So you're making working with you as easy as possible. And I really like this right here. So on the homepage, they kind of list out a typical workflow, and this is a typical workflow when you go through it. So you're using Google Docs for document collaboration, you're using Dropbox to share files and keep files in sync, HelloSign for signing and storing contracts, or Nusi, well here it is, Nusi for proposals, or Better Proposal or something like that you're using for all of your proposals. You have something separate for your website prototypes, etc., your Trello, your Slack. So what this is doing is giving you a central location for your client to log into to access all of these resources that you already use in your current workflow. This is really the easiest software for providing a custom experience like this on brand on your website to come across as professional as possible to your clients. It's very impressive. It's very impressive to me. So let's scroll to the top, take a look at the normal pricing, and then I will show you the plugin in action on my website. But I would definitely encourage you to come here and check out the demo. So I'm going to go ahead and click on pricing. You can check it out. It's normally $279 for a single site license. You can have as many clients and projects as you want on a single site. So if you're just a single design agency and you're making these, or any kind of business that you would benefit from having a centralized location for clients to log into, this is all you would need right here. Now, if you were a developer and you wanted to make these for customers or add this to projects based upon the requirements of various projects, now you're going to have an easy way of actually doing this without custom coding or using any kind of substandard plugins that might currently be available. It's $479. Now, about 3 years ago did a project for someone where a custom client portal like this was required. And at that time, I looked at all the options available, and the same options are available today with the exception of ClientPortal. And so your option was to custom code something, and that was the ideal solution back then. But the cost of custom coding a solution is very, very high, and the potential for something to break in the future is also very high. So that was one thing that I had in mind. But there was also a free plugin, and it was very restrictive and ugly and not flexible, so it wasn't really a great solution anyway. And we tried going that route, and then we had to go a custom coded route. So the cost of this is actually very affordable for this type of functionality. It's very affordable. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump on into it. Oh, let me show you one more thing. So if you click on the support, and I definitely would suggest clicking on support on their website, it goes here, and this is a client portal, but it's public. So they actually use their own tool to make their own support portal. So when you come here, they just put their logo in there, and you can tell. The only thing I don't like about using it for your own support is if you look at the URL right here, the slug is /client, and you can't get rid of that. And that's okay that you can't get rid of that. But this is what they use for their own support, but it's a beautiful support area. So it's the same thing. You have your information here. A lot of the things I showed you earlier, you can enable or disable, and I'll show you how to do that in this video. But then here, instead of phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, well, section 1, getting started. And this is exactly the solution, but she's using it, or the website's using it in this way. I really like that, because I've looked at a lot of help desks before, and they don't look as friendly and inviting as this. This looks really good. So there's a lot of other use case scenarios for this plugin, but you're primarily going to really just want to use it for client portals. But it's pointing out that you can use it for a public portal. And so you're going to want to actually go through here. There's some things to consider. So when you're going through here, you will realize it. So one of the things was when I scrolled down here to, where was it? It's under security. Here it is right here. How do I hide client portal from search results? Now in your SEO plugin, it will see the custom post type that gets created, and you can set that to not be indexed. But when you click on here for the support, you might want to add this to your robots.txt file right there. Okay, so that's one thing, but your SEO plugin can probably do that just as easily for you. Also, right here, are my files safe if you upload them to the client portal for your client? And when you scroll down here, it makes reference to an update that was supposed to come out this year. I will have to test it myself. Typically, when you upload a file to WordPress, it organizes it in certain folders. If someone had the URL to that particular file, it would show the file, whether it's in a membership area or not. However, according to this, they put out an update in early 2018 that made it so when you uploaded a file in ClientPortal, it would be secure and not accessible unless someone was actually logged in. That is a really good option there. So earlier today, I posted a link that, saying I was going to make a review on this website, this product, and show you guys how to add it to your website. And the conversation started flowing in the Facebook group. I'll have a link in the video description box to the Facebook group if you're interested in joining it. It's free, of course. Then the conversation came up, well, how is this better than just Google Docs? Well, I think it's obvious that if you gave your client a login, it's a custom branded login, they come here, they have access to everything, not just Google Docs related. This is a much more seamless, beautiful experience, professional experience, a lot more flexible experience that you have full control over, less of a learning curve. Your clients are already going to know how to log into things, so all they have to do with this is log in. If a client's never used Google Docs before, now they've got to log into Google Docs, and it's just not so easy. And the same would go for Trello. If you just wanted to use a Trello board instead of something like this, and you just hand your client a link to a Trello board, they're probably not going to look at it ever because it doesn't fully make sense to them. So what you know and what you're comfortable using through your experience using various tools is going to be much different than your client. You want to make everything as easy as humanly possible for your client and not make any assumptions about what they feel comfortable using. This insanely easy, big boxes, nice simple hover effect icon. It goes to custom content to them or the various items for them to download. It's an absolute no-brainer for your clients. Okay, so here I am. I've already installed the plugin on the website here, and I want to show you what happens when you activate it. It adds this link right here, or this new menu item, called Client Portal. Now, when you hover over it, you have the option to add a new project, or to see all your projects, add a new project. And one of the things I like is you can set project templates up. So a lot of the different projects that you do are probably going to have the same structure and same flow. There might be a different link to a different Trello board or a different contract or something like that. But the whole structure of everything is pretty much probably going to be the same in most of them. So when you're getting this system implemented for you, you would just pretty much create a project template that is all set up for the way that you work. And then when you want to go in and create new projects, you would base it off of the template. You can convert a project into a template as well. Okay, and here's where you can manage all of the content pages. So I'm going to show you how to create a content page. It's super easy. And here's some overall settings. So the first thing you're going to want to do is jump into the settings. So this is where you're going to set some global settings. Now, each of these are actually customizable based upon the project. So if you wanted to have a project when someone logs in, have it to really wow them and have it match their colors, you could do that if you wanted to. So you'll want to come here first and fill this on out. So you pop your logo in here, and really you're going to want to set your colors. So the background color. So right here where it says primary background color, that is this color right here. So you could choose whether you want it to be your brand's color or your client's brand's color. It's up to you, but you would set that right here. And here are the various colors that you get control over. You can drop some custom scripts in here. This is cool. If you wanted to add maybe some live chat or something to it, you can definitely do that and have it just appear in the back end for the client portal, not on the front end. That's some great support. Pop in your phone number, your email, and then there's this general information area. So they already have some text here that you could use if you wanted to, and you can customize this on a client-by-client basis. This blob of text right here is what appears right here. So you can just set it up and in this one location and have that be what everybody sees. In the example here, it's being used to relay contact information and stuff like that. So that's this area right here, and it comes pre-filled out with this text. I really like that. And then you have the granular control over the visual aspects of the tool. So you can show the project status if you want, the mark is complete boxes if you want. What is the default behavior when someone clicks on one of those boxes? Does it open up in a new tab? Collapse all modules, and here's a display the powered by link. In the example I'm going to show you, I disabled that already. You can see I chose no. So the first thing you're going to want to do is jump in here to the client portal settings. So now what you're going to do is you're going to, when you want to start a new project, you would go and click on add new. First thing you would do is give it a name, and then right here you would choose if you want to use one of the templates. Now the tool does not come with templates done for you. So you would basically set up your first project and kind of make it as a template, or just go and click on add new project template and start it out that way. But I'm going to show you how you can convert a project into a template for later reuse. Okay, and so here you can add some custom branding if you want. So this is going to be the colors that I just showed you, so you can override them if you wanted. So for this particular project, if I wanted it to be a different background color, I could do that. Different colors, I could do that. So you could add a client's logo if you wanted to have it really be punchy and look great. You can control the width, so you can either have it go as wide as the logo is that you uploaded, or you can just have it default to 270 wide. Okay, and you can also put a header image in. So the rest of this information is going to pull from the client portal settings, so you don't need to change any of these. The only thing you'd want to change probably is a logo, and if you wanted to customize it just specifically for this client. And so here's that same general information that I was talking about that was set up in the client portal settings. So you have that right there. And then right here is where you start putting in the project information. So the project information was this right here. So this is your project information, and you can choose to show this or not show this. It's completely up to you if you didn't want that there. I like it. I like how it kind of stands out visually. So I like that a lot. So anyways, right here's where you put current phase, next phase, and the complete date, and that's your 3 boxes, right? So right here, current phase, next phase, and then the completion date. So when you're managing the various projects, this right here is one of the aspects that you will actually be changing. These 2 things here, the current phase and the next phase for your client. So this is where the box that you would be on. And so obviously right here is where you could show this or not show this. I like it, but you might not want to show it. It's completely up to you. You get the nice date box pop out when you click on estimated complete date. And so, and anyways, here we go. And then there's this other kind of global aspect. It's a call to action that appears at the bottom of the content pages and the login page for the client. So by default, do you want to see all your files? Not the greatest call to action. Let me see if they have it here on the demo. So here's that default call to action. So you can have this call to action be anything that makes sense to you. Maybe if you are a web developer and you have care plans, if you wanted to have some information here about getting different services or care plans from you, here's that call to action that it's referring to right here. So you can choose to not have it or have it. It's completely up to you. And so you can change the text, you can change the button text, and what happens when someone clicks on that button. So far we have covered how you do this part right here, and we've covered how you do this part and this part. And all that's left now is the phases in between those areas. So that's going to be right. Actually, it looks like you need to save it before you can do that. And this is actually a perfect chance for me to go to the project that I've already created. So when you click right here to all projects, you'll see a list of your projects, and you can see that I've already created a project, and I'm going to show you this here right now. Now, when you hover over the name of the project, what's nice is you get some options. You get the option to just duplicate this project. So that's one way of going about getting new projects set up in the system really quick. You could just click on duplicate. The other one right here is, as I was mentioning, is you can convert a project into a template. And this is really good for basically setting up your projects a lot faster. So you have these 2 options here. So let me go ahead and click on into this one. So I didn't do a ton to it. So let me just show you it right now. So I didn't change the color in the background. I definitely want to do it. I just grabbed a logo for Umbrella Corpse. If you know what that is for or from, what movie that's from, let me know in the comment section down below. Here is the name of the project. So if I go here, see, name of the project, and here is the name of the project. I would assume if I didn't put a logo in here, it would just show the name of the project. Here's that information right here. You can see it's pulling the font styling from my theme. That's why there's some gaps here, some spacing. So I would probably want to adjust that. Here are my phases that I've gone ahead and created, the discovery, design, and I put a due date right there. And I didn't get too much into customizing this, but I'll show you how I added this and added multiple phases. You can add as many phases as you want. You can make this say whatever you want. You can change the icon. You can have it do whatever you want. And then here's that call to action right there. So let's dig a little, actually, before we dig into it a little deeper, let me show you what happens when a client logs in, because this was a question that I had. So I'm going to open up a incognito tab to just show you. So let's go right there. Okay, here's my incognito tab. So this is an incognito tab. I'm not logged in. So this is a link that every client of yours can use to log in. So it will pull those same colors that you set up in the plugin. And so you see I didn't customize the blue or the red. So here's a link. You could put this to a menu item, client login, or something like that. If you wanted to, you can see it doesn't have that same WordPress feel, which was a concern of mine. So I was happy to find this out, right? So you could have this link be on your website. But with the plugin, you can actually take it a little further. So here is, I just switched tabs and you can see the logo appeared. So what this is if you give your client the link to the project, if they try to go to that link, they're going to see a custom login with their logo. And you can see the URL right here is the name of the project, Umbrella Corp website right there. And you can see this right here. I love this. I love this. It's a custom branded login just for your client. Obviously, you wouldn't put this link in menu navigation. You would use the generic one right here, which is the URL/ClientPortal login. But I like that they took this extra step. So that was something I really liked about it. Okay, so let's go through this here. So I just added the custom logo. I didn't play around with this much. I popped my phone number and email, but if I had it in the client portal settings, I wouldn't have had to do that. Okay, and here's where I have my status, discovery phase, design phase, my date, my mark as complete. I didn't mess with my call to action. And now here are the phases. So you can add as many of these as you want. So if I click on manage phases right here, it's going to expand them all out like this and give me the option to add and reorder phases and remove phases. So by default, it comes up with discovery, website, and assets. That's fine. But right here, I can add a new phase if I wanted to, and then I can reorder these if I wanted to. So you have that granular control over this. And also right here was some options to make your project public or not. This would mean there's no login or there's no password protection on it. So it's just public on your website. And that's how they did their support. They just essentially made this a public project. And so that was that right here. And then here's where you would link a project to an account. So only the person with this account, when they log in, can actually access this project. Pretty cool. Okay, so let me click on save and show modules. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna scroll down again. And here we have those three phases. So you can expand it like this. Here's another option for changing the name. And then this is how you add and edit the various boxes. So you can see I have right here the getting started. So if I click right here, you can see I named it getting started and I put some text in there. So let me show you the anatomy of that real quick so you can see what options you have. I'll just expand the existing one. You give it a name. You give it the little description. Now in the description, you're not going to want to put too many words because you're going to not want this to take up too many lines. When you look at their example here, you can see how each one, they make sure that just for it to be visually, aesthetically pleasing, you see how it only takes up 2 lines on each one. So you'll want to do something similar there. there. Okay, so you put your description in, you have your choice of icon, and there's every icon under the sun right there is an option. And this is where you would choose those 3 types of what you can have happen when someone clicks on this box. You can have it go to a URL, you can have it go to uploaded files. So URL would be if you want to link to a Google Doc, a Trello board, a proposal that might be in Newsy or Better Proposals or something like that. Upload files, this would be if you wanted to upload bills, invoices, receipts, or something along those lines. And then content page would be to be a page on the website that only this client can see. So I first did the content page, and right here it'll give you the option to create a new content page, and you can click on edit to edit that particular content page. So when I click on this, it's going to go to a content page. I didn't put any content in it, but you have the navigation here on the side, and you have the content there. It's just really nice the way that it looks. And also, let me show you, there's also this log out button here on the top right that's available to you, or to your client. Okay. So that is that. So you can easily click right here to add another module, and you could put whatever information you wanted in there. So if it's URL, just pop the URL. If it's upload files right here, you can just upload multiple files, and you could see that example, what the user experience would be right here on their website. It would just look beautiful and seamless like this. I really like the way they implemented that, where there's this nice pop-up that comes up. So you can also see in their example some interesting things that they did. They put in a website questionnaire. And this is interesting. So what they did is they made this a content page, and when you click on it, it takes you to the content page, and there's a form here. I really like this. I thought it was a great way of using it to have a form here. So you could, when you get your client all set up and ready to go, you have them come in here and fill this out so you know what the heck you're going to be doing on their project. If you have a discovery phase, and definitely everybody should have a discovery phase. And then you have other options here. You can have the status active, completed, inactive. So they all look a little different. So if we're looking on their example right here, you can see this is completed, this is not completed, and these two right here, these are inactive. I really like how they do that. So you would, in this example here, you have a style guide. Well, if you haven't even done that yet, you don't even want it to be something they can click on, but it's cool that they can see it and know that that's coming soon. So you have that granular control over it like that. And that's pretty much the tool right here. So I have a couple of pros and cons. I just showed you how to actually use it, but I wrote a couple pros and cons out. It was actually kind of hard to find some cons. But the pros, that it's simple and lightweight. It's not going to slow down and load down your WordPress website. You can add it to your main website and not worry about it. So you don't have to set up some other subdomain or something like that for this. It's perfect to add to your website to provide a seamless experience for your clients. You can create custom content pages. I like that. Custom branded login. I showed you that. I thought that was cool. And you can use the project templates. That reminds me of one thing I forgot to show you, the process of creating the actual client login account. I'll do that in a sec as I wrap this up. The cons, there's no automation. So this is all high touch stuff. So there's no Zapier integration or automation or anything like that. So but it's totally fine, because these are projects that you're actually managing or having someone in your staff manage. And so it's perfectly reasonable that you have to go in there and upload the invoice and stuff like that. So that's one negative. The other negative, or not con, or maybe just let's call it a thing to improve, is that there's no like hooks to slip in any kind of upsell. So this isn't like a sales tool. I look at everything that, if you're going to have your client log in, it should also act as a sales tool. So have there be some visual way of drawing your customer that's logging in eyeballs to something that maybe they can upgrade their care plan, or maybe purchase an upsell or something like that. If there was a way to integrate some kind of promotions into it, and there just isn't actually. So it'd be nice if you could maybe, when they log in, hook something in up here or here. I suppose you can use this call to action at the bottom, but that's assuming that they're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. So it'd be neat if they could figure out some way to turn this also into some form of a selling tool. Okay, lastly, I left this out. This is what you have to do in order to start to finish, get your client logging in. Step one, add the new project. So I showed you how to do that. Go to projects, create a new one, do it off a template, whatever you want to do. Then what you need to do is go to users. So you would go to users, you would create a new user like this, and you're going to fill out the information. This is going to be your customer's login. For role, there's a new role type called client that gets added. So you would choose client, and you're probably going to want to uncheck this send user notification because it would be that default WordPress notification. I wouldn't recommend doing that. So what you'd want to do is fill this out, get the information, and then what you need to do is take that information and send an email to your client saying, congratulations for coming on board. Here's your login and password to your custom client portal. I would give them the link to the actual portal project so they can see, wow, there's my logos there, my colors, my brands, or however far you wanted to take it for them. But then you have to link the user account to the project, and that was super easy. So once you've created the user account, you go here to Client Portal, click on into the project right here, and there's going to be an option right down here where you can choose that user. So it says client account. So you'll see a list of the user accounts that are the client role type. You'll see them all listed. Just select on it, and now only that user with that login will be linked to this project. When they log in, they're going to see it right away, and that's how you do it. Now, if you read their support docs, which I did for this video, you read the support docs. It says if you want to have multiple client logins for a particular project, you can't do that. And so so when you go down here, you notice I couldn't multi-select user accounts. I can only choose one account. And what they suggest in that scenario, don't set a client account. Go here and use the native WordPress feature where you can set a password on any piece of content. So you would go right here, you would click on edit, and you would choose password protected, enter a password, and send that to them. They won't get that custom branded login and all that kind of stuff, but it'll work fine that way if you're working with a company with multiple people that are going to be involved. Although it would be fine, I would think, for them to just share the login and password amongst everyone in the company versus doing it this way. So anyways, that is what was recommended for that. So anyways, this has been Client Portal, how to use Client Portal to set up a custom client portal on your website. There's so many applications way beyond web development and stuff like this. So I want to know what you think about this solution in the comments section down below, and any questions you have. Obviously, you can see I've been using it today. Go ahead and ask me in the comment section down below. Hey, if you've found any value in this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. That would be great. And other than that, I'll see you in the next video.